Hey guys, welcome to the next segment of I Got You Girl. I guess you have me.
Yeah, I got
You just grabbed me. I'm excited. I have a very, very special guest on today that I just talked her into doing live, and we don't get to see each other or be together except during market times. We've known each other for years. This is my friend, Trina Landers, and she is from Amarillo, Texas, and a designer, a clothing designer. Also, she reps our paper lace line that you guys all love. And so she has quite a story. I want her to share about her family. I think your mom and dad were essential in part of the beginning, weren't they, of the Dallas Apparel Mart?
Definitely. My great-grandfather was a drummer, and he was literally in a wagon selling cowboy hats, like Stetson cowboy hats. And that was my great-grandfather. And then my grandfather sold hats. And then my dad sewed shipping short blouses, which is a famous line that's been, still you can get on, they say Google it up or whatever. Anyway, then he drove for Don Patty when he was 16 till he was about 18 and went to World War II, and then he came back and he became a salesman for Seabreeze. For shipping short blouses, and we've had a million lines since then. Right. But he met my mom at the Pearl Mart, and my grandfather had taught some of the salesmen how to sell, to be salesmen. And anyway, Dad met Mom. She was selling Hollywood head toppers.
I can believe that.
And those two met, and it was a wild love story after that. It was one thing after another, but she had been Miss New Orleans. She had been on Look magazine and Beautiful Gowns. She's one of the first models ever for Neiman Marcus.
I know, you told me that. Yeah, that is amazing. And then she owned a school, didn't she? Started a Nancy Taylor Charm School. Oh, wow.
And it was...
Did you go to it?
Yes. I learned how to sit properly.
You did?
Yes. And you get the shape of your face.
Oh my God.
Yes, you have square face or oblong face, and how to put your jewelry on, and how to walk, and you talk. And unfortunately, it never took with me.
I wouldn't say that. You always have decked out. You don't even have all your teeth.
I don't. I usually have. If I knew I was going to be on today, I would be squash blossomed up in turquoise and.
So you guys, I want you to talk about. Okay, so you grew up in this business pretty much. Did you try to rebel and go a whole different direction, or did you know?
I always did go a different. My mom and sister went down selling the clothing, and my dad and he was either riding cutting horses or bulls.
That's right. He was a famous bull
rider. It used to be tri-state, like Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, and he would have the line, but they would go sell it, and I'd go play horsey.
I love it.
And married a cowboy in New Mexico. And
you guys ranch.
Yeah. And we got a big ranch in Logan, New Mexico. We don't now. We live in Amarillo. And my dad passed away. I kept Mom on the road for about 3 years. She retired, and I took completely over.
Oh, wow.
My sister went with me for years, Melody.
Works, with you some, I know that. Well, also talk about your home place, because that to me you've had a very interesting life.
Home place.
Where you bought the ranch and what it was.
Oh, the ranch was an old hotel. And it literally was in Tucumcari on the red light district.
Oh, did y'all get that? Red light district.
Had the red light in it.
It was out in where?
in Tucumcari, New Mexico,
In New
Route
Mexico.
66.
Oh, wow.
And it was in 2 parts, and they brought it out and set it in the middle of a section of land, which out there, a section of land is a very, very small place. Everything that surrounded it was 160,000, 250,000.
In that time.
Yeah,
How many years
and
ago?
it's still there. That still is true. It's still the small place when we sold it. When my dad passed away, we ended up selling it. But we redid the inside. It was gorgeous place. And all the New Yorkers and all the Los Angeles people that owned all the clothing lines and things like that, then we actually I would take trips with my dad and mom to see these salesmen on Long Island, and we would buy big-footed horses that had large feet in New Mexico that could take the rocks, and then drive from Logan, New Mexico, which is outside of Tucumcari, all the way to New York. Now, taking New York people through New York City with horses behind you, oh my goodness!
I had heard that story.
Crossover to the Long Island, and then we would ride and jump things, but it's solid rock over there.
Wow.
Oh, and I even went out with the New York City's mayor son.
Of course you did.
He was down in the cellar, and I met him, and he had never met anybody like me. I was a wild 15-year-old girl right then. And I'm not going to say why he went out with me.
Oh, man. You're so funny. But okay, so then you ended up, now you have your showroom in I almost said New York, in Dallas, and you travel all over, and you help design the line Paper Lace.
Yes. I've gotten my line. I've been designing with my mom. It was called Color Me Cotton years ago.
Wow.
And I also helped design a line called Sea Breeze, which is the cotton line I've got on, and then I've got Paper Lace on the bottom. But we used to, where I came up with the line was she came to see me with a lot of beautiful lace pieces with paper lace, and I said, oh, we can make this it's really coming on. And Melody, my sister, had a place in Round Top, Texas.
Yeah, I love that.
So we would go to the proms, and we would dress wild, all this wild, crazy looks, and she was very much, who do you call that lady that is so famous? Mexico, she's an artist.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, you do. She's the most freaky. A lot of people put them on her clothes. Their clothes. Frida. Carla.
Okay. Yes.
Carla. Frida. Carla. Anyway, she would dress up like her, or we would go with the crazy girls down at the house down there, the gypsy girls. Oh my God, they're wild. They're fun. That's fun.
I love it. She's had quite a lot.
But we just grew up wearing things like this. And one time I actually I didn't even know who Magnolia Pearl was. And I saw her swoop down and throw up 4 walls and fly in with the helicopter and throw fabric all over a big building. And I went, whoa, what is that?
Seriously.
And walked in, and that was way back when she used to charge you $1,000, never see you. They would call and say, I want Magnolia Pearl. And they would say, okay, here's $1,000. And they would send their measurements and a picture of them then. And she would pick out 6 pieces that she thought you should wear. And about that same time, after I'd heard about this, but I had paper lace already going in here and building on it and the wildness, and I got accused several times of copying her, but
We know better.
it's, you don't copy
no.
Magnolia Pearl. Nobody can copy
No.
Magnolia Pearl.
No.
You can copy the era.
Right. That's
You
a good
know,
point.
you
I like
know,
that.
it's the vintage era. It's the bohemian era. We've had bohemian eras for
And it's
30
kind of
years.
twisted in, I think, too, to the little bit of the hippie, you know. The
Yeah,
hippie
oh,
with the-
definitely. That's where we got all. That's all they dressed
when I
at
went-
Brown Top.
when I went to her store, I went to it at Fredericksburg, and it was really fun. It's a beautiful place. I think her husband designed it. It's so beautiful, and I just fell in love with, you know, all the stuff, and I fell in love with the girl that was there. It was precious, and I actually did a live from there, and I wasn't carrying the line, and anyway, I was downstairs, and I was like, there was this one mannequin, like an old one, like where I live, Kelwood factory was, and I have one of those mannequins at the warehouse. So I knew what it was. It was on that iron rod and hung
Oh,
over.
yeah,
and
with
it's
that-
like heavy.
I've seen those
yeah, like they
years.
had
It's
it at the
all over the.
factory.
Yeah.
And so I walk up against it, and there's these overalls on it. And they look like what somebody that would work in a mechanic shop would wear. And they were stiff and nasty, and I was thinking, I said, do y'all sell these? And she goes, no, that's really where it all started, was from somebody wore those at Woodstock. And she found them in a vintage store. And that's where it started. That's where that part came from there. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But I think she's quite an artist. You know, I respect
She
all
is.
artists. You guys are artists. I'm blessed. I got to do a few pieces this year for Paper Lace, and about to do some more.
Yes.
Y'all will have to just keep watching. To
We've
see.
been through so many different lines together
Right.
that I've had through the years, and just watching each other do something funny or different. We came here, remember, for the boots, your first time we came to Dallas.
designing boots.
Yeah, you designed your own pair from Lane Boots, wasn't it? I think so.
And then
That
I did
was
some from
wild.
El Gringo called the Felecia boot.
Felicia boot?
Yeah.
Did it have?
Of course, it had pink on it.
Of
It's whip
course.
stitched, and it's all the leather and embroidery and all that stuff on it.
Oh, look, who would have ever known it would have been? So that's how I got the idea of, my kids are still roping. They're still in
Right.
rodeo. That's where they went they all went to college, roping scholarships. And that's where we put a Western trend back with, I am a hippie. I mean, I can't get any more hippie. That's how the mayor of New York City, why he wanted to go out with me. Because I was really different. And but I tell you, it was different for me too, because he took me out to a Italian restaurant, and told me, if I tell you to hit the floor, girl, you better get under that table. And I went, okay. Well, it was real Italian. I saw the real thing.
Might have been in the back room,
Yeah.
like playing cards or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was,
gosh.
we're just a couple of people were in there, and I was like, whoa, who are you connected with?
I love it. I love it.
But anyway, I did take Western and put it with the 70s, and you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimi Hendrix, and there's nobody better than Janis Joplin to
Right,
me. I mean, that era of clothing, and if you look at her and that whole look, then when I was riding in my chaps and cowboy hat and all that, I always had a tie-dye t-shirt on.
Oh, you
Or
did?
big wildflowers or
Oh
something
yeah, the flowers.
rare.
Those are
and
so bad.
Steve would say, "Tear that up.
Oh, that's funny.
Wear a vest over it. Put a jacket on, or you just."
So you
I
didn't
said,
have that whole get up with the Western shirts. I rode
Oh,
horses
the
too. Did you
cowboys
know
and I had to dress because I worked at a Western store.
that? Me too.
For years, and it was silk shirts and the
Yes.
silk pants that, I mean,
And they
just
flared
so-
at the bottom a
Oh
little bit.
yes,
They're with
and
style.
tight, and they were gold,
Mm-hmm.
lame, and the big beautiful roses. I've
The
got
Scully, like the Scully
Cisco
shirts.
Kid. You know,
Yeah.
if you ever heard of Cisco Kid. My mom and I and sister all had our horses, and we rode in the parade with Cisco Kid.
Oh, wow.
And we were dressed to the hilt, had black stretch pants on, and the belt with the big belt buckle, and
Girl, you just been there all your life.
with the big flowers. Oh yeah, Mom dressed us to the hilt.
Guess
She
what
was
color my
already-
chaps were? I'll take one guess.
Purple,
Nope.
pink.
Nope. Lime green. I had the hat to match, and baby, the blanket for my
Wow.
horse was gray.
Mine was just good old soft
Or
deer.
else.
Deer, like very soft.
My dad he wanted to be a cowboy so bad, and he would, every weekend come Friday after school, load it up, and here we go on the horse trailer to every horse show. Again on Saturday, go home, wash the one pair of pants you had, and the one shirt you had, put them back on again, and 8-track tapes, put them in the...
Oh, you had to get geared up. I would go, though, the opposite. We were real ranchers. Ranchers
You were
way
real- my
up
dad's
in the
a wannabe.
mountainside. And we would go, but I took all my kids barrel racing and pole bending and all that. They were all in the timed events, but we're mainly cutting horse, richer in cutting horses.
Yeah.
And then we would be I lived with one of the most famous cutting horses, Dry Docalina, which you would not think of, but Pocolina is the mother to all like King, and then Pocolina is the most famous horse there ever was.
Oh, wow.
And to own Pocolina's trophies or anything from there, you would have to win it 6 years in a row to ever get that trophy, and it was the fraternity thing.
That's awesome.
So I rode him, but I was a little girl. He'd come by, Barney would come by and pick me up and put me in front, and I'd buckle him in, strap him in, because they were goats back then.
Oh, wow.
That's how quick.
That's wild.
And my dad now is buried on the ranch.
Yeah.
And remember, it was just like Yellowstone.
It was. I literally watched her mother's memorial service, and it was like, I felt like I was watching a movie of Yellowstone, and it was so cool. You guys walking back, because how many, you walked back, you said 4 miles?
About that, yeah. We carried the casket
ashes.
up, and then we put it down in the dirt, and we all toasted him.
Oh, wow.
And then, but the wildest thing about that one was Blue,
Joshua
which
keeps
is
scooting the chair.
that was a blue horse, and he followed the truck, and he followed Mom all the way to the grave. Nothing on him.
Just a wild horse from
so we caught him, and we saddled him, was following Mom, so we caught him, saddled him, put the boots in backwards, went ahead, let him up there. And so Blue's standing there. And afterwards, we took the bridle, the saddle, the boots, and everything, threw it in the back of the truck, which we did take a truck up there too, and the bridle, and he did nothing but.
Is this a
Did
wild
not move.
horse? A wild horse?
No,
like that?
this was a tame horse.
Oh,
this
okay,
was
so it
my
was his
dad's
horse.
personal.
Oh, wow.
But he literally there was a fence
was
built
determined to
on
go.
there, around there, and he went around, and a flag popping. Most horses would,
Yeah.
but he went around the flag, and it was a Marine Corps flag we put up there, and he literally just leaned his head over there and just stared, just never moved, and it was just us and the kids.
Wow.
And then we did it recently for my mom.
I think animals,
She was
they
98.
sense, they-
Oh, yeah.
wow. And didn't look, I mean, you got to show her picture, because is this
Okay.
where she was modeling for?
Yeah, we invited her and had all kinds of things. This is my mom, y'all, and it was legend in her time turns 80. That was her at
She
80.
does not look 80 at all. That's why you're so
It's just-
you're so beautiful.
Well,
of course, you're
thank
nowhere
you.
near 80 at all, but
God,
gosh.
I hope.
And then she was on the front of Vogue magazine. Was it Vogue magazine?
Vogue and Life.
And Life.
Yeah,
Wow.
those great old big magazines now. And she was in a gorgeous, beautiful beige silk wedding dress
Oh wow.
on the front page.
She's
But
beautiful.
she was gorgeous.
Beautiful. Well, so are you. Well, I'm excited. Thank you for telling the girls all about you, and I'm super excited about what we're
I can't
fixing to
believe
do
I'm
together.
just rattling on. I
See,
don't
I
never
have that
do
fun.
this.
I could do that. Everybody
I
always
could
goes,
do.
I don't want to talk. I said, trust me, I can lead you. So it's this crazy
Yeah,
thing.
but I feel so easy with you.
Yeah.
Usually I get in front of a camera and go,
when I
what?
did,
That's why I went like that with,
when I did
camera.
Renee that does the pellets, she goes, oh man, I don't want. I said, girl, just follow. It'll be fine. She goes, oh my God, that was awesome.
I know, that was easy. And it's not off yet. It's still easy.
That's right. So you guys definitely like us if you haven't. Share us with all your friends. I've got some exciting things planned for the future. One of them, I know, we met a lady, I think I told you this, here, that next time we come back, we're going to interview that teaches pilots to fly. And she has her own plane. And Josh was going to start
That
taking
sounds
flying
so much-
lessons.
Oh, that you didn't tell me. I thought maybe you might say
Isn't that
he's
cool?
going to take flight. You
So
need
that'll
to
be
do
coming up
that.
in August. And she's going to take us up in the plane, and we'll be filming part of it from up there.
Whoa.
We never
that's
meet
good.
strangers. It's so crazy. It's
I
so
used to
great.
fly down to the ranch next to us, and that best flying trip I ever did was go to the trig ranch next to me, and he took me up with one of the gliders, drug the glider behind me, and I was in the glider with them, and then
You're
they
brave. I
let
don't think
you
I could do
go.
that.
And then there's no engine, there's no nothing, and we just glided around on the
I don't know
ranch.
if I could do that.
And it was great. And then we went down on the dirt road and
Wow.
She
She has lived a life, guys.
No, it was
and
fun.
much more to continue.
Definitely.
Right. Well, thank you. You know
Thank
how much
you.
I love
It's
you.
fun.
I love Paper Lace. I'm excited about what we're about to venture into. And guys, we love you guys. We want to share people's stories with you, women that have achieved things in their life, that have experienced life, that, you know, that's where I Got You Girl comes from. It's God saying to you, I got you, girl. So, till next time, thanks.
Thanks.